Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. I want to apologize for my voice. I'm getting over the flu. So now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into the safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aries be affected by the August 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say and how this moon will be affecting us. We have Justice, which is Libra energy. If we have Libra within our chart, that's going to be coming through quite profoundly. And we have the High Priestess. I love the moon at her feet here. That's going to be really important to us. So much is going to be revealed by the moon. We then have the Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we have Earth sign energy within our chart, that's coming through very powerfully within our inner selves. If we're born on the cusp with Taurus, that's also going to play a part here. That's going to be very strongly influencing our personality, the Taurus aspect. Then we have the Ten of Cups, and we have Capricorn energy right here. So if we have Capricorn energy, that's amplified by the Earth sign energy here, because Capricorn is Earth sign energy coming through in our inner selves. Then we have our emotional selves. We have Strength, which is Leo energy. If we have that within our chart, it's coming through very strongly within our heart. We have the Devil, again, Capricorn energy coming through. So that's having an effect on our inner selves and on our public selves, not our public selves, our emotional selves. And then we have the Four of Cups, a gift coming in that doesn't actually feel like a gift at times. And then we have, in the public arena, we have the Lovers, Gemini energy. If we have that within our chart, again, coming through very strongly in the public arena aspect, and the Eight of Pentacles. This is going to be time to get things done. Now, the new moon on the 7th of September is in Virgo. So we're going to see that affecting us in the way that we go about things in our day-to-day lives. So in our inner selves, that's going to be quite profound. Now, on the 22nd of August, we have the full moon in Aquarius. The full moon always tells us that we need to surrender to the divine, and that is where our power comes from. The full moon always has us dealing with conflict of desires, meaning our wants versus our needs, our spiritual life versus our public life, our, work life versus our home life. Has us looking at how to balance that more openly and honestly with ourselves. It also increases our intuitive power and emotional understanding. So that's going to be something that's very powerful. And by opening up to what we divinely want, opening up to our divine understanding and the way the divine guides us is really going to be important. Now, with the full moon in Aquarius, it says, show the world the real you. And this is going to be a time where we find ourselves, just through the alignment of the planets and astrologically, really wanting to show the world the real us, being very optimistic about this. Because during this moon, the full moon is conjunct Jupiter, which brings optimism, generosity, good luck, and success into our lives. So it makes it easier for us to show the world who we truly are and where we truly want to be. This also brings opportunities for spiritual, personal, material growth, and we need to take advantage of them. There are aspects during this time where we can almost get overwhelmed by everything that's coming our way, or by everything that we want to do, that we can actually be like, you know what, it's too much. I'm not ready for this. I need to step back. So do be mindful of that. There is going to be this feeling of happiness and contentment if we let ourselves be in alignment with ourselves, if we don't fight against what we deeply desire. That's going to be really important. It doesn't mean to do anything harmful or anything bad. Like if we deeply desire to be with somebody who's married, let's say, we might not want to act on that, most definitely, but we want to be able to look at what we want and say, how is this aligned with my happiness? How can this get me to the place of joy that I want to be at? This is a perfect time to strengthen our relationships and to find love. But with the sun opposite Jupiter, it can bring a sense of over optimism, and it can bring a sense of arrogance. So all of a sudden we think, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy. I can absolutely do this. No problem. And then there's this sense of, oh my gosh, it's harder than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I, amp myself up too much. Maybe I'm not really going to be good at this. So we have to watch for over optimism and arrogance. So those are going to be two things that we have to be mindful of. Even though optimism is not a bad thing, the arrogance is going to be the thing that gets in our way. And also the optimism, not seeing warning signs when we should, is something we need to be mindful of. Remember to be thankful for the blessings that come. If we have a gratitude journal, this is a great time to take it out of the drawer, really start using it, to just say every night before we go to sleep, I'm thankful for XYZ, whatever it is that has happened in our lives. And this moves us to Venus being trine Saturn. So Venus is trine Saturn, which is the ideal time excuse me, for finding love and contentment. Relationships benefit from a stable approach. This is not going to be a time where we want to be wild and crazy necessarily in love. We want a stable approach, we want stability, and we want steady affection. We want to know that the people we love us back. New romances can bloom during this time in unexpected ways, so keep your mind open. Don't close the door. This is a time to let things really in and let yourself see and become and just kind of go for it. You can find your soulmate during this time if you want to, or you can align yourself with the energy to be able to, when you're ready, find your soulmate. If you are single, if you are looking for if you are in a relationship, not looking for somebody, if you're in a relationship, this is a time to enjoy new closeness with your partner and greater connection, greater understanding, greater a sense of coming together and being on the same page and just feeling more at home with each other. Mars is going to be trine Uranus, which brings initiative, excitement, and adventure. So we really don't want things to stay the same during this time. So as we're showing the world the true us, we have all these brilliant opportunities coming our way. We need freedom. We need the ability to embrace adventure, even if that's just in the books that we read at night or the TV shows that we watch before we go to sleep. Even if it's just mentally, trying something new, doing something that's maybe a little bit out of our comfort zone, that's going to be really important. Our strong instincts and daring attitude is going to make this moon prime for risk taking, but also we have to be mindful not to take risks that are going to be foolish. Again, with the the full moon conjunct Jupiter, we need to be mindful not to be too optimistic, to think, oh, I just can't fail, and kind of shoot ourselves in the foot because of that. We have this strong instinct and this attitude of like, I can do this, I really can. So this is a good moon to go after what we want, go after what we need, seek out adventure, really, jumpstart things. And this will also increase our passion in our relationships and our lives. So we need to take this and just run with it for the joy that it is, as we show the world the real us, as we come into this balanced understanding of what we love, and our wishes start to come forward, and our dreams start to guide us. Now, on the 7th of September, we have the new moon in Virgo, and the new moon always says a new start is coming, and it always shows us the ability for beginnings. And this moon is an exciting moon. This moon is going to be trine Uranus. It is in Virgo, and it says a time to give rather than take. And so this is a time that brings rapid positive change and freedom. This is also, just again, with the new moon trine Uranus, it's very, very powerful. There's a sense of, why not? Why not go after it? It makes us feel as if now it's time to try new things and step out of our comfort zone. As we look at things and it says time to give rather than to take, it's like, how do I give this energy into this world? How do I move forward in passion, in power, in understanding? This can bring new adventures. This can bring new inventions, new ideas. This is a time where we're going to see things and say, well, why not do it like that? And why not? Giving this energy out into the universe, giving this energy out into ourselves. This isn't a time where we need to research. This isn't a time where we need to really hunker down and iron out all the details. This is a time to give the energy and see what comes back, see what transgresses and moves forward, and how we get to embrace what we desire. This is also a time to, as we step out of our comfort zone, this is the perfect time to widen our social circle, widen our meeting of people, and also our expansion of ideas. This is a time to really walk outside of the box that we were in and see and explore and become. And this leads to a harmonizing aspect of Uranus, enhancing our intuition and bringing, this flash of insight, this flash of, I want to say genius, this flash of like, well, I can really do this. Because again, this is a time to give rather than to take. This is a time to see what, by giving out this energy vibration, by going after what we desire, what can be explored, what can move us forward. This is a fantastic time for self-discovery and creative breakthroughs. If we are creative, if we are looking for, just kind of a change around the full moon, around the new moon, is going to be the time where we can really have this inspiration. And it's fed by this really inspiring full moon that we have in Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about stepping outside of the box, embracing our intuition. And that's where we're going to see an increase in our intuitive awareness, in our, some could even say psychic abilities. And so this is making us more and more in tune with our intuitive selves. And as we embrace our intuitive selves, this is a great time to tackle issues that have been, holding us back, that have been stumping us, that have been, giving us trouble for so long. And as we tackle these issues, we have better insight into situations and a better place to start when we've been putting off things, a better place to push forward when we've been having that resistance. And this is a time where our gifts have a tendency to shine under this new moon, and our gifts have a tendency to shine under the full moon. So this is a time where we can really see ourselves breaking out of the box, breaking out of ruts that we have been in, or doubts that we have had, or I will never. And then it leads us to the full moon in Pisces, where it says balance, spirituality, and practicality. We're going to see us really having this time with the conflict of desires, with really stabilizing ourselves and saying, how can I take all the creative energy that I've had, and this is the full moon on the 20th of September, and be able to harness that within myself, be able to understand all the avenues that I'm walking forward in, and be able to do so with pride and determination and focus and greater understanding, with that balance of spiritual and practicality. And that's going to be something that we find harmonizing and balancing and brilliant for ourselves. And we see this in the balance of the justice. We see this in the moon that comes forward, and Pisces is ruled by the moon. So we have this beautiful pull towards the awakening that the moon gives us. Now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of? Okay, during the full moon. And this is the Princess of Swords. This is getting too much into our own mind. This is also people acting like princesses and really being demanding, being scornful, being manipulative with their words, and just thinking that more should come to them than they should actually have to work for. And this is going to be a time, Aries, where we find ourselves kind of bending over backwards for, did I say Pisces when I shuffled the cards? I don't remember. So we're going to keep this out because I really can't remember. So Aries, let's just again see who we should be mindful of during this time. Who should Aries be mindful of during the August 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And that's also the Queen of Wands. So we have the energy to be mindful of the Princess of Swords, of the manipulation of words. But we also have the Queen of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We can get in our own way and kind of want to burn too brightly, which is a fire sign thing. Like we can want to do too much, be too empowered. The air sign is going to absolutely fan this, meaning that we're going to be really drawn to people, hyper successful, hyper determined, really looking at things and breaking down barriers and going after what they want, go for the kill, don't think of anybody else. And the words that are around us during this time are going to make us think, well, that's the way we're supposed to do it. This is going to be a time where we find a harmonizing factor within the balancing of our truth, our understanding, and ourselves. And so if we go after the kill, if we go after people who are just, so focused on what they can achieve and how they can achieve it, we're going to find ourselves actually diminished. Because as we claim our throne, we have to let our own individual power shine, not in a hurtful way, not in a vengeful way, but in the way that says, I am the benevolent ruler, not the tyrant. Because remember, we're represented by the Emperor in the major arcana. And so when we claim our throne, we need to claim the throne as the benevolence, not as the tyrant. Because it's very easy with our force of will and determination and focus and ideas to step into a role that kind of demands instead of stepping into a role that helps permeate and progress. Now let's look at our chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And we have two. We have the root chakra and the soul, and not the soul star, and the what is this? The solar plexus. There we go. Thank you. I was like, all the S's were coming out, but not the right one. So we have the solar plexus chakra and the root chakra. The root chakra says balance, the balance of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, the balance of our dreams and wishes and desires, the balance of the conflict that comes up every time the full moon comes into play. And that leads us to self-mastery. The sense of our energy through following our gut, looking at our intuition, letting ourselves shine, which is really what these moons are really aligning us to do. At the full moon and the new moon, we're going to see ourselves being able to align our energy more and more, our energy vibration, our inspiration, our greater understanding, our energy that we're taking from the moon, the reflective light of the sun that gets to shine within our own souls. And this brings us to a place where justice is important, but it's not going to be necessarily always the justice that we think of. So when we think of justice, we can think of white page, black print. This is the letter of the law. This is the justice that comes through the discernment of the energy around us. This is saying what's right for me. And it's not going to be egotistical or, self-serving. Well, it is self-serving, but not in that, narcissistic way. To say what energy is right for me and what isn't. What adds to my understanding of my life, my soul, myself, my betterment of spirit and desire, and what doesn't. Because as we step into this power, we have to be discerning of the energy that we take in and the blessing that gets to be a part of us. We get to be discerning about, what we go after, the way we focus our passion, the way we focus our intuition, the adventures that we want, the creativity that we want. And that all has to be balanced. We have to be just with our time and with ourselves and what we can expect from ourselves and what we can't. What we put on our shoulders that is too much, and what we just absolutely deny ourselves to see. And it moves us to the High Priestess. The veil is being lifted from our eyes at our root. We're not going to be able to lie to ourselves and kind of masquerade things, and other people aren't going to be able to lie to us. I mean, they are going to lie to us and we might believe them, but during this time, especially, there's a sense of truth prevails, insight, instinct, understanding guides me forward. I get to be on my own 2 feet. I get to be excelling, expanding, and embracing a newer place to be, a greater place to be within myself and within my awareness. This is a time, the new moon talks about intuitive powers, psychic powers coming up. Aquarius is a time where we become much more aligned with our own intuition, our own desires. This is a time where our instinct is key, and we have to trust that instinct. We have to trust our spiritual sense of growth and self and discovery, because if we don't trust ourselves, who the heck can we trust? This is going to be a time that ideas start to open up, we start to open up, and we start to move forward with determination, focus, power, insight, and there's a real sense of so much coming forward, so much being revealed. As we show the world who we truly are, so much is revealed to us. We step into such light, we raise our energy vibration, our souls, ourselves, and it moves us to the Horned One. Now, the Horned One is the devil in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And with the devil is how our chains are pulled. How we're tied to things, certain addictions, just all addictions, doubts, fears, negativities, hurts, pains, disappointments. The devil comes in, but here it's the Horned One. It's the god of the forest, and it's the essence of the forest itself coming forward. And what it's saying here is, what is the light that you're seeing within the darkness, through the fog? How is it that you are being guarded by the fierce nature of yourself? And how is it that you are being manipulated by the chaos that is nature and the unknown? And so here we're embracing a certain sense of power, a certain sense of revelation through chaos, through doubt, through fear. And it brings us to the 10 of Cups. And I love this 10 of Cups because it always makes me think of that Nordic saying, better to be a king in a cottage than a servant in a castle. And I love that. I absolutely love that. It means better to own your existence, your life, your soul, yourself, than always be striving for more and more and more. So during this time, it's like, what do I really need to bless me? What do I really need to move me forward in sanctity of self, in happiness? We all want happiness, but each and every one of us will see that happiness differently. That's why we have people who live in the country and people who live in the city and people who live in between. That's why we have all different places and all different ways of embracing happiness. That's why we have different jobs and different things that people are drawn to and curious about. So this is a time where we say, what is my happiness? What is my greater understanding of self? What is my passion? What is my desire? What is my insight? And how is it during this moon that I am slowly and steadily building this bounty, this joy? Because you do not have a better time than this to go after it. You do not have a more beautiful, blessed time than the full moon in Aquarius, the new moon in Virgo, and then we have the full moon in Pisces, to just be able to embrace love, to be able to embrace prosperity, to be able to say, but this is me. So what is it that we're sacredly nurturing and slowly and steadily moving forward in? And how is it that we get pulled off track by greed, by over optimism, by, maybe doubting our own abilities and thinking and letting arrogance come in, thinking, I'm better at this than I am? Where are the moments that we need to defend, that we need to learn, that we need to grow? Where are the moments and the aspects and the things that we need to embrace our skill at, flourish in? Where's the research that needs to be done to be able to build things, to be able to move forward, to be able to see the ideas that we have and say, wow, I can really get from point A to point B or point, Q, if I look at things differently, if I think outside of the box. This is going to be slow go towards prosperity, but it's going to be prosperity nonetheless. It leads us to strength, which is the Leo energy in our heart, which is our heart. And so here the strength comes not from being that force of will, that absolutely indestructible force that says, this is the way I want it, this is the way I'm getting it, nothing is standing in my way. Strength comes when we say, this is who I am. And we have the strength to say, world, this is me. This is my joy. This is oh, excuse me. This is my want, this is my desire, this is my hope, this is my dream, this is me. That is going to be strength. That is going to open up the doors in ways that we couldn't imagine. It is not strength necessarily the person who is the bodybuilder. It's not strength being able to lift the most. It is the strength of character and will, determination, and focus. Whenever I think of strength, I think of my great-grandmother who passed away at 98. And she was the strongest person I knew. She lived through so much. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing that strength can sometimes be overlooked because it's not the flashiest, it's not the showiest, but it's something sacredly powerful. And it moves us then to the devil. What is keeping us from our strength, from our power, from our greater understanding? What are the ties, the knots that are holding us back? The allures that we think, well, if I can just be like this person, if I could just be edgy, or if I could just be, more this or that, I could have it all. If I just had something that maybe isn't mine, I can be able to be so much more than I actually am. And the devil tempts us. The devil does. And it's just the tempting energy of jealousy. If we don't believe in the devil, if we don't believe in this greater force that wants to see us, doomed, it is the tempting energy of jealousy. It is addictions that lure us back to a place, into an energy vibration that's low and base and hurtful and harmful, and doesn't excel us forward the way our souls need. And it brings us then to the Four of Cups as we're embracing our heart during this moon, as we're seeing all this power that is around us, and we're kind of calling ourselves out on the energy that holds us back, that denies us, that hurts us, that has just been too much. We start to see a gift coming in that doesn't feel like a gift, that isn't what we're expecting, and it comes in and it sets us forward in a way that is undeniable, that is focused, determined, forceful, insightful, but that is absolutely us. So during this time, during these moons, if we have something come in and we're thinking, not that like it's absolutely horrible and I don't ever want to do this, but something that maybe just doesn't fit into our greater scheme, our greater idea, but we say, you know what, I need to take this for some odd reason. I'm being called to move forward this way. I'm being called to take on this responsibility. I'm being called to open up this door and say yes instead of no. Know that that's the Four of Cups coming in. That's divinity handing us a gift. And it can be something that divinity has handed us before that is coming up again. And it's like, can I do this? And the answer is going to be, if we step back and we embrace our intuitive self, which is really strong during this full moon and this new moon. And it says, yeah, I can. Not in arrogance, not in ego, but in the sense of, yeah, I can. I can open this door. I can walk forward this way. I can be this person that I desire, or, handle this extra thing. It can lead us on a path that is so unexpected. In the public arena, this moon is focusing on falling back in love with life, falling back in love with what we want and who we are and why we're here and what inspires us and what doesn't, and how we can move forward. And as we embrace this, we embrace ourselves. As we embrace love and passion and understanding, we open up that door in more ways than one. With Gemini energy, it's the fact that we have the twins. There are two aspects to everything. There is more than one way to see things. There's more than one way to understand things. This is going to be a time where in the public arena, communication is key. We need to communicate. We need to understand, where we stand and why we stand there better, and why a person who maybe has a different idea stands where they stand. We need to not judge immediately. We need to ask questions, dig deeper, go after what we want, and understand that there's going to be more than one way to achieve it. We have to be very mindful of giving up who we are to have other people love us, to have other people see us, to have other people respect us. And that's going to be something that's really rather powerful during this time. What do I love? And how do I let that love shine? If somebody else doesn't get it, then, maybe they need to change the way they're seeing things. If somebody else doesn't see the love that's resonating within us, maybe they need to, be on a different path than the one we're on. But embracing the heart and saying, but I'm coming from the heart. And that gets to be joyful and powerful and beautiful. And it brings us then to the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is our hard work paying off. And it's also saying, what are we creating? What is it that we desire? What is it that we want? What has Spirit been shaping us to create, shaping us for, moving us forward in. This is our hard work, our dedication, our 10,000 hours. What do we want to be masters of? And what is it that Spirit has put in our pathway time and time again that has made us unwilling, or unknowing master craftsmen at whatever? How do we embrace our prosperity? This is a time where hard work is seen, if not by anybody else, by ourselves. And we start to give ourselves recognition. We start to see our craft increasing and bettering. Excuse me. And falling into alignment with our dreams and our aspirations. It leads us to the moon. Now we get to see how this moon, affects us during this time in conjunction with the tarot. So angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Ooh. Let me just get this card. That, of course, had to fall on the floor. You guys get to hear my squeaky floor. Okay. And my squeaky chair. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. So we have at our root, we have nothing will come of the situation, and we have hunger. So nothing will come of what we are super hungering for. And this is going to be a time where we have to step back at what we want and say, what is supposed to be a part of me during this time, which seems counterintuitive, but it's really going to be powerful because we're going to be releasing and knowing that a win-win outcome is forecast. There's a win-win outcome as we release what we have been holding on to and saying, I wanted it this way, but it doesn't have to be this way. Spirit, guide me forward. Let the moon illuminate my path. That's why we have the moon at her feet, illuminating, showing, gaining an understanding of. And as we see this, we start to see the win-win outcome coming. We start to see us releasing the harshness and the pain and the hurt that has been holding us back for too long. It brings us to understanding boundaries within our hearts and being able to take time out to breathe. Take time to breathe out as we look at the boundaries, as we look at ourselves more openly, more honestly, and say, where do I want to be? How do I want to get there? What is it that I've hungered for, but what is it that I've sacrificed? Like, what are the boundaries that I said I wasn't going to cross? Or what are the boundaries that I let people cross without standing up for myself, without gaining and embracing the power of my own voice? Do not let your past hold you back. Patience as you walk through one portal to another. Patience as you transform. Do not let your past hold you back from the blessings of the present. Now let's see our subconscious moon energy, which is beauty. And I love this because for the longest time when I started using these cards, I didn't see the face of the woman. So we have the eye, the eyebrow, the line, the silhouette of the face, the lips, the nose. This is a sense, and this is a time where beauty can so easily be overlooked. So don't overlook the beauty within your life, within yourself, because it's going to be too easy to not see, to not understand, to downplay who you are and what you're aspiring to. And it says, look at the bigger picture. And this is the full moon in Sagittarius. So it's that fire energy that's coming forward. I thought it was Aries for a moment. I was like, wow. But this is taking aim. This is the full moon in Sagittarius. This is that determination, focus, understanding. Look at the big picture. Don't get caught up in the little parts. It's kind of like only seeing the outside elements, only seeing the butterfly, only seeing the flowers and the leaves and not seeing the face. Look at the big picture because it's going to be so easy to not see it. This leads us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is the Prince of Swords. We have to be mindful of energy that's all about just going after it, seize it, take it. What's yours has to be conquered, has to be taken, has to be, accomplished. Don't hold back. This is going to be a time where, yeah, don't hold back. Go after what it is that you want, but don't let yourself be so rigid that it's only what I want when I want it in this exact way. The Prince of Swords can be the great hero of the story. How does the great hero come forward? Yes, they conquer, but here there has to be a give and a take. There has to be a planning. There has to be a greater understanding. And we're going to find ourselves so drawn to people, but also our own energy. That's like, you know what, just go after the kill. Just go after what you want. Hold nothing back. And this is going to be a time where we have to say, what do I want? What is sacredly important to me? Because so much energy, so much of the planetary alignment, so much of this moon, these moons, are about us understanding ourselves and letting love and beauty and freedom of expression and adventure into our lives, not simply seizing it, not simply going after the conquest. Our subconscious chakra self is the inner child. This is the heart chakra. And whenever I see this card, I love the exercise of just visualizing the child that we once were, running into the arms of the adult we are today. And in that awkward time, in that time where you think, oh my gosh, I was so foolish, or even like seeing ourselves being able to embrace the adolescents that we were, the young adults that we were, all the lessons that we had to learn, all the times we made fools out of ourselves, and being able to say, I see you, and I still love you. I still love you, even though you're being so ridiculous right now. Know it gets better. Know understanding comes. Stand firmly within yourself. I love you, and I will always love you. And with the child that we were, I listen to you. I hear you. I always hear you. I always see you. You are not invisible. And embracing that beauty of heart and soul, embracing that beauty of our heart chakra, it moves us then to our subconscious rooted self, which is judgment. This is a time where our hearts are judged, when we're looking at what we love. Are our hearts lighter than a feather? Are we weighing ourselves down with unnecessary burdens, hurts, pains, and disappointments? Are we carrying the past forward into this future without letting it go and letting ourselves be, express, and embrace joy? It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Two of Cups. Unity, love, connection with the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, connection with our hopes and dreams and wishes and desires, the sense of love and harmony, insight and understanding coming forward. It brings us then to our subconscious emotional self, which is the moon, Pisces energy. The full moon in Pisces on the 20th of September is going to be impactful for us. But this moon in and of itself and the moon's phases are going to be important for us. Embracing the wisdom and the beauty and the intensity of our moon and ourself. Knowing that so much is revealed within the shadows if we simply look at them, not through fear, not through preconceived notions, but through love and acceptance, insight and understanding. It brings us then to our subconscious public self, which is the Queen of Swords, the warrior queen. Being able to be the warrior of our fate and what we desire, our mind and our words and what we are tenaciously going after. The Queen of Swords, kind of has a bad rap. Other tarot readers can read her and just be really, really harsh on her. And when she comes up in the negative aspect, it's like, yeah, well, her bad aspects do come out. But she has more masculine energy in her than any of the other queens do. And it's letting that masculine energy shine during this time. It's letting the sacred masculine come forward, not in a hurtful way, but in this powerful, beautiful, confident way that we would love all masculine beings to be. Kind of like the best description of a man possible that we could think of in our minds. We start stepping forward into that masculine energy, into that confidence, into that assertiveness. And not saying that those are only for men, but saying that those, a lot of times when we just think about them, are more masculine traits than they are feminine, for whatever reason. And this is saying here, I cut through the doubts and the fears. I step into my power, my determination, my focus, my desire, my want in life, and I don't apologize for it. I embrace my wit. I embrace my voice. I embrace my words without letting somebody else make me feel guilty or apologetic for who I am and how I express myself. I have fought hard for this throne, and I claim it. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the bounty of this moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries, and may you have a blessed moon.